So I have a lot of things that I need to get through today, so I thought that I'd read off this message that I sent to Roosterteeth, more specifically Roosterteeth Games. Uh, First and foremost, I would like to say that I am a huge fan of RWBY Grimm Eclipse. On console, I have 100%ed the game, trophies and all. I have streamed it on more than one occasion with the utmost enjoyment. It was because of this game that I met two amazing people who I have cherished ever since, and even plan on starting a company with. So I would like to personally thank you for all the hard work you've done, and would very much like to keep in close contact with you, the creators, to offer my support. With that being said, however, the game is dying on console. All the multiplayer servers are practically dead now, and as such, the newer people who are looking to platinum the game cannot get their trophies or their ranks. Because of this, they are forced to quit the game and never come back because they'll have no one to play it with. I'm sure this is not something that you would like to happen, and would like to prevent at all costs. It is because of that reason that I have gone around the community and asked a number of people what would get them to come back to the game and what they would like to see in it. Needless to say, they were very eager to share their feedback. Number 1, new characters. This had to be the most requested change on the entire list. Everyone I asked pretty much summed up their responses with this being the top priority. A lot of people pointed out and stated that since Team Coffee's theme is in the game, albeit as an instrumental, Team Coffee themselves should be added to the game, which I'm sure that you can agree with. Closely behind that in the record show that people also want to see Raven and Crow, seeing at this point in the story we've seen both of them fight. And then behind them is Sun and Neptune. As for me, I actually have a suggestion for how this could work. Sure, you can make these characters purchasable through currency, as it helps Rooster Teeth make money that way, just like you guys did with Juniper. However, why not make it more interesting? Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links does this thing where some characters are hidden, and you have to complete a certain mission or fulfill a specific requirement to obtain them. To make sure that players are still playing long after they are announced, make it so that to unlock the new characters, you gotta do something like, I don't know, say kill 100 Grimm with Ruby's level 3 range. Guaranteed to keep players playing if someone like Cinder is unlockable. Number 2, a new campaign. Now I know this one has a bit of controversy, what with the previous promise of a new campaign being miscommunicated to the fans. But almost an equal amount of people wanted a new campaign to people who wanted new characters. People had told me that it would be pretty amazing if we had a villain story, one not necessarily tied to the original Grimm Eclipse campaign, so that it doesn't tie them to the story if they're not originally a part of it. This could also tie into new characters by having Cinder, Mercury, Emerald, and Adam as playable characters in this one first. Then you could have players unlock them for the other campaign and online play if they beat the story mode with that specific character. That would have people constantly redoing the story so that they can unlock new characters and have far more fun doing it. Number 3, regular maintenance. Going back to the Duel Links as an example, we see that what keeps the game from going bad is the constant maintenance checks that go on. I'm not sure what it's like on PC, but on console, Grimm Eclipse has a horrible glitch where the game will crash if you die on Eclipse mode once, or on normal on any other difficulty. The spawn-ins are also rather glitchy sometimes in that it will freeze without warning and make it impossible for you to move. In addition to all of that, there are also moments where the Grimm will be completely invisible, yet you will be able to see them on the map moving sporadically. These changes have been omnipresent since I first bought the game before December of 2017. I'm not sure how big the Rooster Games department is, or if they have the time to manually keep it up to date, but perhaps you guys could hire people to keep it at 110%. There are also glitches with the skill tree where we cannot put our points in, but that's of a lesser issue because you can really fix that by just closing the app and then going back in, or quitting the game mode and then going back in. Anyway, number 4, a new game mode or a new feature. Personally, I'm a huge fan of the whole skill tree thing we have already, but I think we could take it one step further. Wouldn't it be awesome if you used Ruby's lightning bullet and instead of yellow, it shot out blue lightning? Or if we ourselves could add things to the cosmetics for the characters so that you, the creators of Grimm Eclipse, don't have to keep introducing new costumes and having us wait for them to come out? I think so. I truly believe that a customization option not only for our guns and weapons, but our characters as well would work wonders. If you want to make the best stuff purchasable with money, you can. You can also make it similar to Horde mode, where killing Grimm in any mode gives you Lien, and you use that to buy customizable items. I mean, look at My Hero 1 Justice customizations and how successful it is. If that's not something you would like to do, there's also the option for a missions mode. Imagine taking Monster Hunter's quests and expeditions and the rank system already in place, and combining the two. Have the players team up and head out into different areas of Remnant and fulfill missions like they had at Beacon. Speaking of Beacon, why not make that one of the places to receive these missions? It could be Monster Hunter meets RWBY, where we, the players, form teams to either hunt down all kinds of dangerous Grimm and explore Remnant in an all-new way, or just have us be able to explore Beacon. That also works. Finally, I feel like I'm guessing the new content schedules for later this year, but I think a survival mode can work wonders here. What better way to test our Grimm slaying skills than by battling an endless horde of Grimm without having to be tied down by protecting the stations? Number 5, new enemies. Which brings us to new enemies. The problem with the campaign and horde modes, despite the fact that we had all these different Grimm and the robots, was that the enemies themselves simply felt repetitive. By all standards, being able to predict what enemies will spawn and where they would spawn really made the game easier than it looked, not to mention boring. Now, what we could do to fix this is to add new types of enemies and alter the spawning of enemies so that different enemies spawn in different areas. Imagine finding a Nevermore either in the middle of a defend the objective map or in the final boss and destroying Merlot's laboratory, which would make sense with the feathers near the end of the game. Actually, even better idea. You can use feathers falling from the sky to symbolize when a Nevermore is about to strike. I've also heard requests of making the White Fang and Junior's henchmen as enemies, which would be awesome, but you'd have to figure out from a storytelling standpoint why they would be there. Number 6, more challenges / ranks and achievements. The best part about Grimm Eclipse, in my personal opinion, were the rank prestiges and trophies. As a matter of fact, Roosterteeth should definitely bring all of that back with even more trophies, even more ranks, and a large variety of challenges to keep us players thinking and playing. I'm thinking up to maybe Prestige 20, give or take. We could work our way from there, but that's only if you guys are even considering that as an option. Number 7, regular events for the major holidays of the year. The reason why Overwatch has been going strong for a long time now is because of its regular events and keeping the players happy with new stuff. I think that we can have something similar, but like just putting little things like jack-o'-lanterns and scary decorations around Remnant for a Halloween event, Christmas stuff and snow for Christmas, etc. You can also change the main menu to reflect that event. Number 8, and this is the final one on the list, bringing updates to consoles quicker. I understand that Grimm Eclipse was first on Steam and therefore PC users can experience these updates long before console users because it's a priority thing to get it out on Steam first. But it's gotten to the point where console players lose interest in the game by the time it even is announced, or after it's announced, and by the time it even comes out. If you're planning to release updates for the game, try to keep them close to one another so that we console players don't have to wait long. I think that's as much as I can offer you guys in terms of suggestions. Go away! The Grimm Eclipse community had a lot of other suggestions. A number of people wanted me to pitch, but I wanted to keep it within the realms of reason since you guys are incredibly busy, and once again, I do not know how large the Rooster Games department is. So with that being said, that's all I really have to say on that matter. I hope that Roosterteeth will look into this and take notes, maybe implement some of these things, maybe expand on these things, and we'll see where it goes from here.